Hi, I'm Rob and this is Gems of War. In this video I'll be showing you my team I'm using for the Tower of Doom event. I'll be showing the team I'm using in general and I'll show some alternative ones in a second as well. But first of all, let's get into it. What I'd recommend straight away as well is visiting the shop, because in tier 4, if you can afford that many gems, because about 250, 400, 470, 500 gems, we'll get you this weapon here, the Doomed Magi. Creates 4 brown gems plus 1 gem per tempering level and gives armor to all purple allies, and if the enemy has a doom, eliminate all armor from a random enemy. So certainly handy in certain situations, and a lot better to buy this with gems than it is than craft it in the Soul Forge. In the Soul Forge it's going to cost you 800 diamonds plus a bunch of other resources as well, and diamonds are a lot harder to come by than gems, so much better to craft that thing in here instead. If you don't have that many gems, I'd always recommend grabbing this tier 1, because you get the Potion of Enchantment, a troop, gold and extra doom sigils as well, which is all really handy. And when you've done the levels, you pop into the reward section and collect your rewards. Right, I'll show my team for this, and then I'll show some alternative teams as well, just ever so quickly. The basic team I'm starting for this is very straightforward, and if things get a lot harder, we'll switch up the team later on, maybe at around about level 100, 120ish, something like that, if we need to. This team is really straightforward. We're in the Archmagus class, because that gives us bonus purple, and purple is the main bulk of what we're going to want mana-wise from this team. We've got Black Manacles, dealing damage to all enemies with a 20% chance to devour a random enemy. Because we're in the Archmagus class, we're going to get bonus purple when matching purple gems as well. As well as that, we're going to get Magical Shield, Dark Hunger, Anti-Magic Sphere, Mana Source, Sudden Doom, Arcane Surge and Chaos Wave from the champion talents as well. All very handy indeed. And we have other allies here which all do damage to all as well. In second place we have Lithian Servitor. Deals 53 damage to all enemies in my case, then steals 2 magic from all survivors. So if they don't die, then that damage output gets put up and increases. Vanya Soulmourn is in third place. Another one if we need extra damage, because remember we've got a Potion of Enchantment on these, so basically they're all going to be ready to cast in no time at all. Deals damage to all enemies again, boosted by blessed allies, and summons a Silver Necropolis troop. So we have a summon in this as well. As well as that third trait works hand in hand with the spell, bless a random ally on 4 or 5 gem matches. Now, we've got Leprechaun at the bottom there, starting with full mana, and we cast him, and that charges up the team nice and fast. Now, if you don't have a Lithian Servitor, there are other options. We'll take a look. Should do, what's it called? Oh, I haven't upgraded Cindy Savage Lips yet. I'll do that later. Cindy Savage Lips, the mind boggles. Maybe she sat on a blender, who knows. What was the troop called? Oh, yes, Vanya. I think there was a few actually with V that we could use. Yeah, if you don't have a Lithian... Oh, I've got already, Vanya. If you don't have a Lithian Servitor or Vanya Soulmourn, there are other options. You can chuck Ven Barrack in there. Deals damage to all enemies as well. And Vanoxia deals true damage to all enemies, so that's a nice way to go as well. But the reason I like Vanya in there is because of that Bless. The Bless is really handy, and Lithian Servitor is there because you get the damage increase every time you cast that spell. One thing I'd mention as well is when you're looking at a troop, for example, Ven Barrack, don't look at that and see, in my case, deal 37 damage to all enemies and rely on that. Chuck him in there and then have a look at it, because you'll see that the damage is changed. It's now gone up to 48 because of various bonuses to do with the team. So to see what you're really going to get, it's always good to drop one of the troops in there first and take a quick look that way. Like my Vanya Soulmourn there still says deal 34 damage. If I replace her with Ven Barrack, it's now actually 50 because of the various bonuses which apply. So that's the team I'm going to go with in a minute, and now I'll just back out and show a couple of alternatives at the same time. This is a true damage team, which a lot of people will be able to run, and it's Life and Death, which deals 37 life to the last 2 enemies, steals 37 life, sorry, and death marks them, and then bless myself. Arachnian Weaver also deals 47 damage to the last 2 enemies, and if the enemy dies, explode 15 gems. And Venoxia deals 35 true damage to all enemies. So at first, you're going to probably want to have Venoxia at the top if you run this team, because that damage is going to be enough to wipe out the entire team in a single cast straight away. And when that fails to start killing people in a single cast, then I would shift it around again to there. And of course, we'll start with Leprechaun, casting that and exploding a bunch of gems. Second team viable with this is a really fun skull team. This is Morthani's Scythe, deals damage to all enemies, and if the enemy dies, create 7 skulls. But in the Archmage's class again, with exactly the same champion talents as what I showed a second ago. Keeper of Souls transforms all gems of a chosen colour to skulls. I may actually run a couple of these teams in a minute when during the game, we'll see how it goes. So that literally you can pick any colour you like and change it to skulls. That is really, really handy. And when you've got some random skulls left behind, who better to cast than Skeleton, because he creates 7 skulls, gains a bunch of armour, and gains an extra turn too. So if any of those skulls don't align to a 4-match, which hopefully they will, because we'll have some skulls there already, we'll do some damage and gain an extra turn at the same time. Leprechaun is going to obviously explode all the gems at the beginning and give everybody a nice fast start. Now the last team is a Zul'Goth skull based team. We've got Essence of Evil at the front, which inflicts all negative status effects on an enemy and explodes 40 gems, in my case, of their mana colour. We're in the Archer class in this one, so we start with 50% mana, and we have a 15% chance for skull damage to be lethal. And the main champion talents we want are Root Trap, entangling the first enemy at the start is important. We want a Leaf Storm in this battle, lots of green, and that is the main ones really. Right, and the way it's going to work is, we'll cast Leprechaun at the start, which will explode a load of gems. Zul'Goth has first dibs on red, blue and purple, and Essence of Evil has first dibs on green. Any excess green goes onto the Wild Queen and Leprechaun. Any excess blue and red is wasted, but we don't care about that because it shouldn't be wasted, because that means that Zul'Goth is charged and ready to do death. And as you know, he will kill an enemy outright and then create 12 skulls. If the Wild Queen is charged, she's going to create a bunch of skulls and green. So with the skulls that remain there already, this is quick death for the opposition. That's a team I may run later on. That's the sort of team I would run after level 100, maybe 120. If the other one is just a little bit slower. But the first team, which we are going to use and show it right now, is a team that will be viable for quite a long way into this event, I think. So let's give it a run. My guild has provided the unlock rooms for this, and I believe the first one is room 5. So many thanks to the guild for supplying this information. Saves you wasting sigils on other battles trying to work out where the boss room is. So when we get a 4-match like this, we can get this straight away. There's no need to actually cast Leprechaun straight away. We can cast Black Manacles and win absolutely immediately. Yeah, that was this was now show the boss room, because that was room 5. But this is for my guild only. So if you're in a different guild, then this is not going to count. You're going to need to either find where the boss room is yourself or rely on your guild to give you a hand doing that as well. Because every guild has a different randomised set of locations for the boss room. If there's no 4-match straight away, like there isn't there, then we can cast Leprechaun and charge up Manacles again and say sayonara to the opposition team. Got extra Doom Sigils there, extra gold, Celestial, Dark Forge Scroll, nice. I actually, well, think about it, that is a really good chance to get extra Forge Scrolls in the shop. One of the best things about it right now is the fact that later on you get Dark Forge Scrolls, look, from tier 3 onwards. You get 3 Dark Forge Scrolls there, 4 Dark Forge Scrolls there, and 6 from there. So I'll definitely be buying that weapon later on, because that is a really good chance to get those Dark Forge Scrolls, which are ordinarily pretty difficult to come by. Right, floor 2 is room 4 for my guild, for the boss room. Like I say, this team will be able to wipe out the opposition pretty quickly. This team we've got here for quite a while into this event, because the Black Manacles is causing enough damage on its own still right now. But obviously they then get the second troop charged up really quickly, and then the third one will be ready to cast soon as well, so we can do a whole load of damage pretty quickly with this team before we need to consider switching things around or changing to one of the other teams I showed a minute ago. Oh, Atlanta as well. That's another troop that would be viable for this. She uses purple. She does damage to all as well. Yeah, let's do this one for a change. Oh, they got a summon, but we got a devour. Excellent. Floor 3 for my guild is room 5 again. Like I say, if you don't have one of these troops that does the damage I do, Atlanta is a very early troop, very easy to get, and she does damage to all as well, so she's another one you could use. And on to the next. These teams that do the damage to all are one of the, especially when you have a 50% start, are certainly the quickest way of doing certainly these early levels. But we have got a lingerer already, you see, but he died anyway. So we're getting to the stage now where we're going to be soon having to do 2 casts, but that doesn't matter because we'll just cast whoever is under Black Manacles and whoever got charged first out of those. If you get a chance to get 5 mats like that straight away, you may as well, because then you can cast it before and afterwards, and that'll charge up other allies in the team and still result in a pretty quick battle. Let's do another floor and then call it a day. And what I may do is may come back later on and do another video of when the battles are getting a lot harder and change to a different team for that. This is floor 5 as well. So I'll just do this floor because it's pretty clear how these battles are working out. And this team is still really good for it right now. But I may do a bunch of battles later on. Let's give a different troop a workout. And then I say may come back later on a much higher level and show a team to use for the harder levels. And it'll probably be one of the ones I showed at the start of the video, because even though this one still will work because you just need to cast each of the troops in order, 1, 2 and 3. And if you're doing a lot of damage with them 3 combined, then it is a little bit slower and there will be quicker teams as we progress into the event. Wait, we didn't get charged up for a change. How about that? Cast them and then we'll cast the second troop. And then the third troop was ready as well if somebody lingered around then. Like I say, I'll probably be back for a future update on this video, maybe tonight or maybe tomorrow. But thanks for watching. Catch you again next time. Bye for now.